Hello, everyone. My name is Monica Gleberman, and you're listening to Silence on Set podcast. For today's podcast, we have the director and two of the cast members from The Valet, which is a romantic comedy currently available on Hulu. So to start us off is the film's director, Richard Wong. Hi, my name is Monica Gleberman.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Nice
So
to meet
I'm just
you.
going to jump in because I know we're on limited time. So I wanted to know first why you wanted to direct this film in particular, and second, how you handled dealing with so many different social elements, whether it be class, race, celebrity, and do it in a humorous way.
Well, my major connection to the movie is how recognizable the family was for me. So I feel like in a sense I was making a movie about my own family, you know. And so when I read the script, I recognized the family as a family, and I recognized Antonio as my father, really, you know. So I was like, oh, I get to make a movie about my dad, and that was something that I've, you know, that who wouldn't want to do that. But in that sense, you know, it made me think about all the kind of things about my family and my dad and growing up in an immigrant family, and what that meant to us, and how that generation sacrificed for my generation, for the next generation, I should say, because every generation sacrificed for the next generation, and how important that is. And you know, by the very nature of that, we're talking about very important social themes. And I think, you know, one thing we always say is that, you know, with comedy, we get to smuggle in really important themes. And you know, I think here we're living in a world today where we're getting more and more divided every day, and the connectivity is getting lost. And so I very much approach the film. This movie is about finding human connection in places you wouldn't expect, you know. And that's just, I think, really important to all of us, everyone on screen and off the screen. That was important for all of us to talk about. And, you know, we were going to have a funny movie, I think, no matter what, because the script was really funny. We had an amazing cast. Samara and Eugenio are masters, I think, at what they do. So I wasn't so worried about the comedy part because I knew we had that. What really mattered to me was what you're talking about, these social themes, saying something really important, making the movie relevant, and, you know, making sure it had heart so people can connect with it, and kind of making people feel good at the end, because I think it's hard to feel good in today's world. But I also showing that we all have a lot more in common than we think.
Yeah, and I really loved, I only have 2 minutes left, so I really loved how they kind of even get introduced, because I feel like it's a movie that you could relate to, because that could happen to you. Like in an instant, you can kind of fall into meeting people that are not, you know, similar backgrounds and things like that. So was that another element that you guys used? And also, what are you looking forward to for fans to see? Because I do really think it's important how you tell the movie and the good feeling of it, and it being humorous. And I hope everyone learned something from it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. There's people you run into every day, but they're invisible to you. You know, this is a movie about being invisible and being visible. You know, you have, you know, an everyday working class valet who's generally speaking invisible. He talks about how people never look him in the eye, and then the most famous actress in the world, the most visible you could be, but someone who feels invisible. And the fact that they have that in common, and they randomly connect, but they have that in common, is, I think, thematically something that we all need in the world. We all have something in common. Everybody does. That's very much what I hope people take from the movie, is that that every single person you see on the street, the valet who's taking your keys, you have something in common with them. There's human connectivity everywhere.
And then, with just my last minute left, what would you tell, you know, fans to look forward to the movie? I really recommend watching it more than once.
Oh yeah,
I pick up so many things from it, but it was so well done. Congratulations. And just what would you tell people, you know, to encourage them to watch it?
Oh, I just hope that I hope they feel good at the end, you know. And I would hope people understand that there's more to the movie than just a couple of laughs. That, you know, we really are trying to say something that I think is important for today, but also entertain you at the same time.
Up next, playing husband and wife, Vincent and Catherine Royce, is Max Greenfield and Betsy Brandt to talk about their experience with the film and some of the funny antics that happened on set. I have so many questions, I'm just going to jump in because we have great, it's like speed round. So I wanted to know, this movie is so heartfelt. It's so funny, but it discusses very serious kind of social kind of topics in it. So I wanted to know for your characters in particular where you are and where your station is and how having money yet still kind of attacking that and the celebrity and still being funny. How do you guys approach that as actors? Because there's so many layers in there for this movie.
I mean, I always say like more money, more problems. Unless you, sometimes you just need it.
That's what you always
need
say.
it. Sometimes you need it.
You know, Betsy Brandt is famous for saying, "More money, more problems."
And I say it in that dialect too. But this couple, I mean, listen, they want for nothing. They have everything they need, and still it's just not enough. It's just not enough for them to be content.
Yeah, and for both of your characters, they're going through kind of like sort of crisis. Like Max, your character is kind of, cheating on his wife. Then, Betsy, for your character, she's kind of suspecting things. So when you read a script like that, do you come in and like prep in any certain way? Because you guys do it in such a funny way and it's such serious material. So I'm always like, how do they do that? How do you guys make it funny and endearing? And we care about these characters, even though they might not be like the most best people.
Are you asking if I cheated on my wife to prepare for this role?
Not your real wife. I've met your real wife. She would kill me if I asked that.
She would kill me that I would you. Yeah, no, I think you just look. We were very lucky to have a really wonderful script that worked and luckily made sense. And so beyond that, then you just start thinking and figuring out like what's the smartest way to tell the story, and then you know that you're working with Eugenio and you have Richard who's setting a tone, and all of those things come into play as you start to put together the pieces of, again, how do we tell this story? And I think like our characters represent somewhat of the more privileged
Somewhat.
Well, they yes. So they're the privileged folk of the movie, and
but you also like you think about all of that when you go into it. But sometimes you got to get there and you just find it, And Rich is such a great director. Like we knew whatever scene we had, like we were gonna get it. We'd get it because he's good. He's good, and I think we're pretty good too. And so it's fun to do. Like you don't really know how it's gonna turn out, and you'll find things that day. So it was a lot of fun to do, and really reminded me how much I love what I do after being stuck at home for so long during the pandemic. It was I think one of the best jobs I could have ever imagined coming back to.
And I spoke to Richard about this. It's so nice because it's showing people from various backgrounds and how we still connect. And I feel like that's so important right now with human connection.
Yeah.
So was that a big element for you guys? And then also I just want to throw in there, what would you tell fans too that are excited to watch this, that follow you guys and are huge fans of yours? Because we're all like super excited for this movie to come out. So what would you tell fans for that? I'll throw in 2 in there.
Ooh. What would I tell the fans? I think I would tell them how I felt about it. This was the movie that I've wanted to make for a while. This is this kind of movie. And then when I saw it, I was like, this is exactly the movie that I want to watch right now. I'm ridiculously proud of it. And it was everything we needed. Like you said, human connection, that's in there. It's not just, silly laughs. I mean, the comedy is great because we all need that too. I mean, when don't you need that? But we really need it now. And there's so much heart in this movie. And I think it's just what the doctor ordered.
Want to add anything or?
He does.
It's, as the famous Betsy Brandt once said,
more money, more
problems. More money, more problems.
Well, I love you guys. It's fantastic. Congratulations. It's so good. It hits so many levels. I think people are going to love it. I've watched it multiple times.
Oh, I love that.
I'm so excited for you guys.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to talk to you.
Thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to the director, Richard Wong, and actors Max Greenfield and Betsy Brandt talk about their experience filming The Valet. It's currently available, streaming on Hulu. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you're updated on all of our latest podcasts, and make sure to check out our YouTube channel so you're updated on all of our video content.